Now, this story is coming out of Nigeria. You know, I don't know for those who aren't fully aware, but 110 black lives, melanated lives, were taken in the past week out of the village of Koshobi on the past Saturday. And the deaths were tragic because it was of farmers in those regions of Nigeria, local farmers. They were tired of Boko Haram extremists stealing their money and crops. So when they saw a chance to capture one of their tormentors, they tied him up and to face justice. But after, in response, the gunmen, Boko Haram, on motorbikes stormed the village of Koshobi, and that's when the massacre happened. The entire affair was, I think, just indicative of everything the country has faced with the whole dealings they've had with Boko Haram, And for those who don't know, if you're not familiar with Boko Haram, it was founded by Muhammad Yusuf in 2002. The group has been led by Abu Bakr Shakar since 2009. And when they first formed, their actions were nonviolent. Their main goal was to purify Islam in northern Nigeria. And since March 2015, the group has been aligned with the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. And since March 2015, the group has been aligned with just a couple of other Arab states or countries, and was at one time the world's deadliest group according to the Global Terrorism Index. The blacks who started Boko Haram feel like, okay, well, since we practice this faith and their idea of the purity of it will bring forth a counter to Western ideas, what they disagree with. So Boko Haram was started in Nigeria, and they feel like, okay, if they take this platform, they can save their country from, a Western ideal. But in my opinion, from what I've seen, studied, Boko Haram served as a Trojan horse for Arab imperialism. They do the work, and they cause the tragedy amongst their own people, Boko Haram do, and you have the Arabs come on the backs of them. And that's tragic because me as a Pan-African fundamentalist see that I get frustrated when we see in a lot of places that in a lot of instances, black people, we have to understand that no matter what you practice, no matter what laws, whether it's Constitution or the Constitution or in America or whatever you feel like you practicing, we have to stop overlooking the racial component of everything that we do and we are. You understand? My master teacher, John Henry Clark, taught me we have no friends. You all know, studied John Henry Clark and read, his many books, watched the videos, and the Black Holocaust. Read that book, very good book. When he said that, when has no friends, what do you mean? He's not talking about just whites. Our enemy is not just whites. We can't just keep on doing the same thing. But we don't think race first. Despite whatever that we practice, our people catch hell worldwide. And 110 people being slaughtered. When last time you heard 110 white people being slaughtered over something, some insurgency and everything like that? It's hurtful, these things. And you should feel, no matter where you are, you should feel hurt that these things are happening. And it's happening in this region. Like, what the hell? It's why all of us in there, we're not going to solve our problem by being divisive amongst what we align ourselves with historically and geographically.
Yeah.
Doesn't make no sense.
Right. And just to kind of, just to go
not
back.
to get away from the issue of Nigeria.
I just want to get back to, just the situation in Nigeria with the Boko Haram harassing, the farmers. Yeah. Right? And, I agree with everything you just said. It is the diaspora, but, even to take it like how you took it, real deep right there, but even just simpler than that, just in Nigeria, all the stuff that they have been going through, we had I mean, I don't think it's something that we went into depth about, but we talked about how they went through the whole SARS situation before, with the police harassing. It just seems like in Nigeria, there's certain areas, like you said, that is prospering, but you have all the stuff that's just getting them from left and right. They have
a lot of stuff going on.
And then not even just that, where you're saying, I think you took it back to like colonialism. You talked about how they brought the people. Go deeper than what is going on, because the Boko Haram people, they're Nigerians. If you want to bring in religion and you want to say, okay, they're also Muslim, right? Or they're actually Muslim extremists. So we need
Islamic extremists.
Islamic extremists.
Give the title, yes.
So put them in the same category as Al Qaeda and all these other ones,
absolutely.
right? Don't separate them just because they're in Nigeria. If you go over the list of things they've done over the years, they're in the same category.
Yes.
So you have, but at the end of the day, these are
terrorists.
They're terrorists, but then there are people trying to live together, in Nigeria. These farmers are actually also immigrants, like migrants from different areas in Nigeria that got displaced partly because of COVID, and also too, they're not rich people. They're basically trying to get by during farming and, trying to feed their families and things like that. Yeah. And then to be harassed by other Nigerians.
And they got fed up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they weren't even being violent. That's another part of the story too, where it's like they weren't even being violent. They actually tied this person up. And then here come Boko Haram. But I mean, this is not just because of the desperation that's going on in the different countries right now, brought on by, the coronavirus, right? This was part of this
another
situation.
Element to the problem.
That's another element, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. But Boko Haram was harassing these people even from before that, right? But even, with Boko Haram, with SARS, right? Mm-hmm. And with all these things that's happening in Nigeria, or just even having just regular policing, it all comes down to leadership. It all comes down to finances. It all comes down to economics. Right. Yeah. These people are not able to survive, and then you have the small areas that could survive, and you have the majority of the population that's struggling, and so then you have these
absolutely
fighting.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to touch on too about the government of this whole situation. When you have these people coming in and killing all these type of people, what is the government doing? Why are they letting these Boko Haram, whatever you call them, coming in and killing over 110 people and don't even be justified for the families? Like, you just let them come in, kill them, and you do nothing? Like, come on, what is going on with the government over there? Like, are you that weak, or should I say paid off, however, what you got going on over there?
Could be.
And you just have them come in, kill them, and you do nothing?
Yeah.
And they just go about their merry way? Are those people so powerful and you do nothing? And I'm going to say, it's a question. Mm-hmm. And I remember years ago, I want to say it happened in Nigeria, when it happened to over 300 something schoolmate kids. They had got kidnapped.
Schoolgirls, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kidnapped, raped, killed, all type of stuff from over there. And the same government did nothing.
Yeah.
Missing.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Over 100 of them still haven't been found.
Missing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah.
I just don't understand, how can you have these same type of terrorists going over there doing whatever they please to these people in their own community? They're supposed to be their safe haven, and it's like you guys just having them doing willy-nilly.
It's all right, sis. Let me really touch on that. You brought up a good damn point, and you know what just hit in my mind right now? 2019 or maybe 2018, the year escapes me, but people who are aware in the news, where there start to be this whole uprising or insurgency of Islamists in China, and there was a whole big thing all over the news, and China was putting a lot of them into camps. The world was talking about what they were doing to him and stuff like that, But was China playing? China have sovereignty. Did they let them come all up here? No, they put them in camps. They make sure Chinese people, they're able to go global. They're in Africa, they're in the world, they're giving America hell, they're giving the world hell. And they're coming along and being the strong people. Because why? Because they know themselves, in a nutshell. We wish our people in some region in Africa or the entire diaspora of Africa know themselves enough to know that, you know what, we're going to deal with this situation in the way we want to do. Islamists can't go into China and start some stuff because they'll lock them up and execute them if they have to. Because guess what? They're going to protect their sovereignty. And you brought up the leadership in this country. Absolutely right. Because guess what? The farmers wouldn't have felt some type of way to take care of the matter themselves if they felt like they had nobody helping them do it. Right. They felt like they had no other choice, the farmers did, and then to handle the situation themselves. Hell, 2-3 days ago, and this is the episode of this recording is December 13, 2020. You know, just 2 or 3 days ago, I'm hearing now out of Nigeria, just about almost 100 school children has been kidnapped. What the hell is going on in Nigeria? What the hell is going on in leadership, the protection there, where they can't service their people in the way they will feel safe?
No, it's definitely a chaotic situation. What's going on? A lot of lawlessness, and you can see that there is. It's not to say that economic things is very paramount. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you could tell that the fluctuation of the people that do have the money, they're definitely keeping it for themselves and only looking out for what they're going for. You know, but. Again, you know, kind of speak to my brothers and sisters out there, you know, to the community, and you know, out there for all my ones out there, also in the land of Nigeria. I mean, think about the idea of what's really going on with the Boko Haram. I mean, they're attacking. First of all, this is not about them trying to spread they're not spreading religion. Islam. You know, they're not spreading their religion. You know, they're literally attacking farmers. Yeah. They're attacking farmers and regular people. You know what I'm saying? On taxes. So what is it? What's the mentality into saying that? I mean, what's the drive more they have? These people have almost next to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, again, some of these places, if we got so bad that aid doesn't even get there, right? So, you know, what I guess my point is what I'm trying to say is that it's been so it's their drive is so much more driven than what it's more than it's beyond their. It's more beyond their religious. It's beyond their religious thing. What they're doing. It's beyond their religious thing. What they're doing. Yeah, right.
Sorry to interrupt,
it's more
very. Their drive.
It's like piracy or some kind of.
It's a natural drive, and that's why I brought up earlier when I was saying these are immigrants, you know, from different places that actually are a little bit displaced. And you ask about their drive is hunger. It's hunger. A lot of these people have no way to fight. Even when we
you're talking about Boko Haram's drive is hunger.
About the people in Nigeria.
Okay.
Boko Haram is actually like how you were saying. They're not spreading Islam.
No, they're not. Yeah.
They're not.
Yes.
Because that is not the driving force. The driving force is just eating and surviving.
Well, that's their battle cry. The battle cry is they're spreading Islam, fundamentalism.
That's what Boko Haram is known for. But this here,
right. This situation was definitely not. I mean,
it's beyond
this was a massacre.
And what I'm saying is,
definitely
this is like it's more than that because we kind of touched upon it when we talked about SARS. That's why I keep on bringing up SARS.
Yeah.
Remember, SARS is the fight against the cops. But it's curious that, you know, you're fighting against the cops, but you're saying, please pay them more, give them a living wage, put them in a situation where they don't have to do this. It's the same here, where they massacred. First of all, there's a food shortage. Mm-hmm. So that's why there was I don't want to say it was a mass exodus, but there was a lot of migrant people flocking to certain farms, and just in general, there's just been a lot of food shortage, like one of the clips that you sent, and so it don't matter that it's Boko Haram or it's the police or whatever. There is a shortage, so you're gonna have people turning on each other, and then it comes down to. I don't want to compare it to the United States. It's definitely not the United States, but it's similar, right? With us, where we're sitting here going, okay, when you gonna send us stimulus checks? Maybe not all of us.
Good point. I see where you're going. Okay,
we are okay, right? We're all employed. We're surviving. We can eat. We know where our meal coming from every day. But think outside of yourself. There are people out there, like I've seen the news, I've seen the lines at these food banks in different places. It's desperation out there. I think we understand what's going on in here. Why are we always drawn to these stories from Nigeria? It's because we could relate to that. We're going through the same situation.
Absolutely.
There's desperate times right there. These farmers, you got people, Boko Haram. Fuck religion. I'm not spreading that right now. You know what? I'm going to terrorize you for food to eat. You got the cops who's supposed to be protecting people. They terrorizing people. I see you with this iPhone. You must have money. Guess what? I only get paid this much. I got kids. I gotta feed them. That's the drive that's going on right now.
Yeah.
The drive. Like, fuck religion. And then you got people out here that are religious, right? We said Nigeria, Boko Haram is Muslim. Half Nigeria is Christian, majority or whatever. It's a large percentage of Christian. Where your Christian brothers at? We supposed to love one another. You got Jeff Bezos out here. I'm not saying he's Christian, but you got all these rich Christians out here that's not looking out for your brothers and sisters. That's also a Christian.
Right.
What's going on in these other countries? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I'm sorry, but
I look, sis. I totally agree with you. Hunger is a basic survival thing that of all living things. If no matter despite whatever you're doing, if you can't eat, everything else goes out the window. And the whole world's facing this coronavirus thing. You know. So look. These so-called leaders in Africa, they feel like they're not attached to the hurt of the regular civilization that they lead, you know? But what they don't know is that they're part of the same struggle. What they don't know is that they're hurting the same because they're dominated by the people they look up to. They have to appeal to European worlds or Jewish or Asian worlds to maintain their power in those regions over the people that they're supposed to serve. The black people that looks like them, they don't get no peace. But however, at the same time, American elites, the Bill Gates and the Jeff Bezos and the Mark Zuckerbergs, they get to have some kind of peace. The British elites, the Elizabeth and all of them, their whole family, the Henry family, and you have the Italian elites, the French elites, the German elites, the Asian, the Chinese elites. Certain groups and ethnic groups, you know what I'm saying, they get to have their own peace on this world. But black people, no matter what level, we catch hell everywhere. Even if you're fucking Oprah. Disney owns Oprah. There's nowhere where we have control, nowhere whatsoever. Nowhere. Can no black person tell me nothing until we have some power somewhere. I hate to go on like that. Okay, I digress. Let me stop. This is the PM Hour. You know, whatever you feel about this episode, because we felt passionate about this. So, you know, we on all these platforms. Reach out to us, leave your comments. You know,
Twitter,
even if you disagree,
Anchor,
we'll get back at you.
Spotify,
we'll talk to you. Yes, on
Gmail.
Instagram, it's the PM.hour. You know,